right, we all the way in on Jalen Hurts, baby. Fly, Eagles, fly. Shout out to Lloyd Brunson, man. We in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Birds chirping, nice spring day. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, I love it. I love the weather. I love what's happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm going on vacation for a week, so I want to give a shout out to everybody real quick that got they hurt season hats this week or last week or whatever. The details is crispy, fit right on the top of your nugget, and it'll let everybody in the surrounding areas know what it is and what season you in. So, you know what I mean? Just a quick shout out to y'all, man. You know what I mean? Y'all look great in y'all hats. Continue to keep them pictures rolling, and I'm going to continue to post them, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about bringing them back, even though they sold out. I'm going to talk to the print champs because the demand is still very high. So maybe we'll bring them back so more people will get a chance to get them on the second round. But like I said, shout out to y'all, man. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, my guy, Philly 500, has added somebody to the draft board that I think we all need to be talking about. So let's hear from
YOLB. Philly 500 is my name. Double moonwalking is my game. Now, the guy that I have to put on this draft board, to me, is the best cornerback in this draft. 6'1", 205 pounds, ran a 4.39 in the 40. The best corner in this draft, J.C. Horn. Now, what I love about J.C. Horn is because when you look at the top three corners, Patrick Surtain, J.C. Horn, Caleb Farley, J.C. Horn, he takes all the best positivity traits, I believe, from Surtain. He takes all the ones from Farley, and it blends into one. He is going to be, I think, the best pure corner in this draft. He's going to be able to cover the fast guys. He's going to be able to cover the big guys. He is going to be the man. This is why he's my number one corner in this draft. And if he's at 12 and the Eagles take him, it would be a very, very smart pick. With that said,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In case you've been living under a rock, man, go sub up my guy, Philly 500. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we make magic together. That's all we do. We in the business of making magic together. So sub up my guy real quick. Yo, man, do the Philadelphia Eagles need to draft another running back? Are we set at running back right now with Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard? That's a question that I've been asking myself since we brought back Jordan Howard a few days ago. Are we set now? And is Miles Sanders enough as a running back one by itself? Is Miles Sanders enough as a first string running back by itself? Is Miles Sanders a true first string running back? So many questions surround Miles Sanders in this running game, in my opinion, that you got to kind of dive a little deeper into it to understand what you really have in Miles Sanders. Number one, from my perspective, I really truly believe that Miles Sanders is underutilized. When you underutilize Miles Sanders the way you did last year, with him being finishing the season third in yards per carry, that's a disgrace. That's a disgrace. You know what I mean? It's pathetic. It's poor coaching. You know what I'm saying? So running the ball effectively like that with one player opens up so much of the game. I feel like that the Philadelphia Eagles got so sucked into the struggles that Carson Wentz had, you know what I'm saying, that they don't want to, just do the things to easily correct the situation like running the ball. They wanted Carson Wentz to work his way through the struggles with his arm. It don't work like that all the time. Sometimes setting up, or listen, a good running game sets up for a nice little counter punch. You know what I'm saying? A good running game is like a good feint for my boxing fans. It's a good hezzy jab that leads to the strong punch. You know what I'm saying? A good running game sets up play action. Like a good jab sets up a nice right hook. You know what I'm saying? But listen, man. That's fundamentals of football, which is why I believe that it was a trifecta. It was three people working in unison. It was three people working together. You know what I'm saying? To get Carson Wentz fired, to get Doug Peterson fired. Everything. So I can't blame it on one person. Everybody wants to blame it on Howie Roseman so much, in my opinion. And I just don't understand how you can just pinpoint the blame on one person. First, what you got to do is you got to acknowledge the poor player Carson Wentz. Acknowledge it. Own it. That he was bad at the quarterback position. Second of all, you have to, in no order, I'm not saying one guy is more than another. Second of all, you got to acknowledge the poor way that Doug Peterson was calling the plays and the situations he was putting Carson Wentz in. You got to acknowledge it. Doug Peterson had the running back with the third highest yards per carry in the game and didn't feed him the pill. He didn't feed him the ball. You know what I'm saying? You got to acknowledge the blatant disregard for running the ball at times with a stud. And not even in his prime yet, probably. And Miles Sanders with a stud. You know what I'm saying? He ain't in his prime yet. You know what I'm saying? Miles Sanders not having... Listen, his rookie year running for 800 yards. Then his sophomore year running for 800 yards. You got a stud on your hands. And we didn't run the ball with him that much. I broke down the numbers of how much we ran the ball the Super Bowl season as opposed to Miles Sanders season. We were the number one rushing offense. If that don't show you how it can set up for Carson Wentz, why wouldn't you try to duplicate that? Why wouldn't you try to create the same number one type offense? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you run the ball and let Carson Wentz work his magic in a play action game like he did in 2017? What changed is my main question. So you got to acknowledge Doug Peterson's inconsistency and bad play calling on third and long and third and short and fourth and short situations. I'm sorry. You got to just acknowledge some of the bonehead play calling and some of the personnel management. You know what I mean? Now, we found out that personnel decisions are ran by Howie Roseman. Personnel decisions are ran by our GM, so that's not really Doug Peterson on who he's going to play and when he's going to play him. But when Miles Sanders is available on the field, that's Doug Peterson if you're going to feed Miles Sanders or not. And last but not least, you can't disregard how bad Howie Roseman has drafted in the years and the selection of Jalen Hurts, which ultimately was the final domino and the crushing piece, you know what I'm saying, of getting Doug Peterson fired and Carson Wentz fired. It kept him, but you know what I mean, it got two other dudes fired. Now, to the running back situation, is Miles Sanders a definite starting running back in the NFL? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is Miles Sanders a top 10 running back in the NFL? I believe Miles Sanders is a top 10 running back in the NFL. There's nobody that has, you know what I'm saying, more 50-yard rushes than Miles Sanders and since 2019, I believe. Nobody with more 50-yard rushes. And he don't even get the ball as much. So he probably would be leading the pack had we fed him the ball. You know what I'm saying? Top guy in 50-yard rushes since 2019. He's tied with two other players. You know what I'm saying? Third in yards per carry. Come on, man. Come on. Feed him the ball. I already debunked all these people saying he's too small. Well, Christian McCaffrey's smaller. Alvin Kamara's smaller. There's so many dudes that's smaller than this guy that's playing the running back position. Just because you might have seen Miles Sanders in person somewhere, he's small. He in shape. You don't understand the difference. He's in shape. He's in shape. Everybody not Derrick Henry. That's the physical specimen. Everybody ain't Derrick Henry. He's in shape. You know what I'm saying? And he runs tougher than guys like Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley falls from being pushed sometimes. Miles Sanders runs through holes sometimes. You know what I mean? Miles Sanders stopped dancing and he improved his game. You know what I mean? I think the Philadelphia Eagles are finally setting the running back room. The only head-scratching decision in terms of these running backs that we have was bringing back Boston Scott, in my opinion, because you got to give guys like Huntley a chance. You got to see what you got in Adrian Killins. It would just be crazy to waste a pick this year on a running back, in my opinion, when you got a crowded running back room like this. Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard should be leading the way. Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard will give Nick Sirianni exactly what he had in Indianapolis as far as a ground game. He wants to duplicate that. I already see that. I'm happy about this. I'm ecstatic about this because a healthy running game will mask anything that Jalen Hurts is showing you as far as struggling. It's going to happen. Jalen Hurts is going to struggle. He's going to struggle a little bit. He's going to struggle a few games. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. Unless you get him a stud wide receiver who's going to be able to, be in sync with him right away, he's going to have some games. It happens to every quarterback, so I'm not worried about that. You know what I'm saying? But when it happens to our quarterback, our fan base deals with it in a very trash way, and it sheds a negative light on the quarterback. I'm sorry. It just does. It hits different when we talk about our own. That's just the facts. You know what I'm saying? And I saw a real interesting tweet from a linebacker from the Colts. Come on, y'all. Why am I do this with these names? One of the best linebackers in the league. Listen, man. Basically, he's saying that a lot of this draft class is doing a lot of talking, and I already talked about that. I talked about Justin Fields saying he the best quarterback in the draft. A lot of this draft class is doing a lot of talking. A lot of guys who opted out last year, who you haven't seen in like 18 months play football. They're doing a lot of talking about how good they are. You know what I'm saying? When they should be understanding that the media is going to remember this talking they're doing. And if they don't perform, are they going to be able to deal with the scrutiny? This is the next level, baby. This is the next level. Darius Leonard, that's his name. This is the next level. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get with the next level and understand that performance is the only thing that matters at the next level, your good looks and everything you did in high school, how you kept your hair in the bun in high school, in college, it's not going to matter at the next level. You got to perform. I keep telling y'all this. You know what I'm saying? And it's confusing to me that people are out here saying stuff like, oh, Trevor Lawrence is going to have more than 4,000 passing yards in his rookie season when he didn't even have 4,000 passing yards in college, man. In one season in college. So come on, man. Get familiar, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man.